Due to its central location, the territory of Hungary has been a crossing zone in the European road transport system for millennia, connecting west and east, north and south. Major migration, commercial and military routes shaped the region's history and culture. The first network of constructed and maintained roads was made by the ancient Romans. Besides local and provincial routes, the so-called Ember Road, which once connected the Adriatic and the Baltic regions of Europe, was probably the most important of such historical trade routes. Later, after the establishment of the Kingdom of Hungary, roads were used to connect medieval urban centers of the country with each other, as well as with other European cities. These important roads provided the foundation for a modern-age traffic network too. Following the latest developments of the 19th and 20th centuries, the capital became the most important transport hub because of its central location and distinguished role. Almost every major national railway, road and motorway starts here, connecting Budapest with the major regional centers of the country and those belonging to the neighboring countries today. Replacing those lost after the Treaty of Trianon, some other cities took over the ranks of regional centers, also in terms of traffic and transport. Transport in today's Hungary relies on several main modes such as road, rail, air and water. Hungary has a network of almost 180,000 kilometers of public roads, of which a total of 70,000 kilometers is asphalted. This number includes 1,630 kilometers of motorways. Public roads belong to the following main categories. Motorways have 2+2 lanes and 1+1 emergency lane, central reservation, no at-grade intersections, and a speed limit of 130 km per hour. Motorways are signed with the letter M plus, in most cases, a one-digit number. Besides motorways, there are high-speed highways too, which consist of 2+2 travel lanes, central reservation, a few at-grade intersections, and a speed limit of 110 km per hour. These roads are marked with the letter M and normally a two-digit number. The most important motorways are M1 and its side roads connecting Budapest with Tatabánya, Győr, Sopron and Szombathely, and the most important border crossing to Austria at Hegyeshalom, providing access to the Austrian highway system, and Vienna, as well as to the most important border station to Slovakia at Rajka, giving an access to the Slovak capital, Bratislava, Pozsony in Hungarian. M2 starts in Budapest and goes north of the capital towards Vác and the Slovak border. M3 and its side roads connect the capital and northeastern Hungary, including some major regional centers such as Miskolc, Nyíregyháza and Debrecen, and run towards the Slovak border in the direction of Košice, Kassa in Hungarian, the Ukrainian border in the direction of Uzhgorod, Ungvár in Hungarian, and the Romanian border in the direction of Oradea, Nagyvárad in Hungarian. M4 is still under construction. It is being built to connect Budapest with Szolnok and the Romanian border. M5 together with its side roads leads to the Serbian border at Röszke towards Subotica, Szabadka in Hungarian, and the Romanian border at Makó towards Arad. It also connects the cities of Kecskemét and Szeged with the capital. M6 goes southwards on the right side of the Danube, connecting Budapest with Dunaújváros, Szekszárd and Pécs by its side road. According to current plans, it should soon reach the Croatian border, as it is being extended towards Osijek, Eszék in Hungarian. M7 is usually known as the Balaton Highway. It starts in the capital and together with its side roads, it leads to the Croatian and Slovenian borders at Letenye and Tornyi-Szentmiklós. It connects Budapest with Székesfehérvár, Siófok, as well as the Velencei Lake and the southern shores of Lake Balaton. Speaking of the regular road network, the primary arterial roads marked with one-digit numbers between 1 and 8 connect the capital's region with the most important regional centers and border stations. Secondary main roads numbered with 2 or 3 digits mostly connect the above-mentioned regional centers and other important towns. And local roads, with 3 or more digits, serve the transport between smaller towns and villages. Domestic bus lines are mostly served by the state-owned Volán companies, which provide long-distance connection between the capital, the county seats, cities, towns, as well as smaller villages. In most of the bigger towns and cities, urban transport too is provided by buses. Trams are used in Budapest, Debrecen, Miskolc and Szeged. Trolleybuses are used in Budapest, Debrecen and Szeged. Public transport in the capital is also served by 4 underground and 4 suburban railway lines. Hungary's railway network, similarly to the roads, has a centralized structure, connecting the capital city with the major regional centers and national borders. The first railway section of Hungary was opened in 1846 between Pest and Vác, and an extensive railway network developed in a very rapid way. Today, the total length of railways in the country is about 8,000 kilometers, of which around a total of 3,000 kilometers is electrified. The most important railway stations are Keleti, Nyugati and Déli in Budapest, each with a central location and easy access to public transport networks in the capital. And the railway stations of Debrecen, Miskolc, Szeged, Győr, Szolnok and Szombathely. Railways crossing the borders towards the neighboring countries play an important role in international transport and trade too. Most of the railways of Hungary are operated by the national company, the Hungarian State Railways, in Hungarian, Magyar Államvasutak, abbreviated to MÁV. Services in the western part of the country are provided by the joint Austro-Hungarian company, the Győr-Sopron-Ebenfurti Vasút, abbreviated to GYESEV. In accordance with EU regulations, Hungary has to open its market for private companies too in the near future. there are 5 international airports in Hungary. The largest and most important, Budapest Liszt Ferenc International Airport, lies relatively close to the city center. It was opened in 1943 with the first terminal, which was later extended by Terminal 2A in 1985 and Terminal 2B in 1997. After the Malév Hungarian Airlines has ceased its operation in 2012, Terminal 1 was closed, and further developments were concentrated to the remaining 2 terminals, out of which 2A is used for flights within the Schengen zone, while 2B is used for non-Schengen flights. In 2019, the total number of passengers reached 16 million, which indicates potential need for future developments on the main airport of Hungary. The Debrecen International Airport provides flights from the second most populous city of the country, the center of eastern Hungary, to the most popular European destinations. The Hévíz Balaton International Airport mostly serves family and health tourism, connecting Western Europe with the most popular holiday resorts of Hungary. Győr-Pér and Pécs-Pogány have the international qualification too, although they don't have regular passenger flights. Besides these, there are more than 40 smaller airports in Hungary, including unpaved airports. Although there were several attempts in the past, currently there are no domestic flights in Hungary. Since Hungary in its current form is a landlocked country, water traffic and transport are present only on the main rivers and lakes, mostly on the Danube, the Tisza and Lake Balaton. The historical port of the Kingdom of Hungary used to be Fiume, which as a result of the Treaty of Trianon belongs today to Croatia as Rijeka. But even nowadays, Hungary's overseas trade and transport goes mostly through this very same port, along with the ports of Koper in Slovenia and Trieste in Italy. There are about 1,400 kilometers of permanently navigable waterways in Hungary. The most important ports are in the capital Budapest. There are other important ports on the Danube such as Győr, Gönyű, Komárom, Dunaújváros, Paks and Mohács. The most important ports on the Tisza are in Szolnok and Szeged.